Prabhuji, Lakshmi Mataji, I called her and I spoke to her.
Okay.
She has come. Actually, she told she's going for 1 month, but
Correct.
she stayed for 3 months and she came back just recently. And
Okay.
she told from Monday onwards I'll join. But now
Okay.
today she kept one message that she's not at all well, it seems.
Okay.
Jet lag and so much of health issues. Mataji, after it subsides, then I'll join.
Okay. Sure.
Hmm.
Sure. Okay.
Umashankar Prabhuji, I kept message, but I don't know. Why Prabhuji he's not coming?
Sunday also the center also they not come, but Mataji message that some treatment they gone. That's what the message.
They will join from next week, Prabhuji.
You spoke to them, huh?
I spoke to Kokila Mataji.
Okay, okay, sure. Okay, so we'll start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Madire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Chaitanyamishwaram Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Prasad Hare Krishna, welcome all for Bhagavatam discussion, our weekly Monday to Thursday Bhagavatam discussion. So we'll continue. I think this purport we are not read, right? That's why we stopped.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Somebody can read the purport.
Yes, Prabhuji. I'll.
Sure.
From second to seventh, no, Prabhuji.
Yeah, the purport. This one, no? This sloka.
Yes, Prabhuji. That's from second to seventh. Translation.
Correct.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Yes.
Now, one who desires to be absorbed in the impersonal Brahmajyoti effulgence should worship the matter of wish. Actually, translation I have read, Prabhuji.
Correct. Purport.
Purport I have to read. Because
Yeah.
after translation, you said that you'll explain. Purport. There are different modes of worship for different persons during success in particular subjects. The conditioned soul living within the purview of the material world cannot be an expert in every type of materially enjoyable asset, but one who have considerable influence over a particular matter by worshipping a particular demigod, as mentioned above. Ravana was made a very powerful man by worshipping Lord Shiva, and he used to offer uh, severed heads to please Lord Shiva. He became so powerful by the grace of Lord Shiva that all the demigods were afraid of him. Until he at last challenged the personality of Godhead Sri Ramachandra and thus ruined himself. In other words, all such persons who aspire after gaining some or all of the material objects of enjoyment, or the gross materialistic persons, are on the whole less intelligent, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7.20. It is said that it is said there that those who are bereft of all good sense, or those whose intelligence is withdrawn by the deluding energy of Maya, aspire to achieve all sorts of material enjoyment in life by pleasing the various demigods or by advancing in material civilization under the heading of scientific progress. The real problem of life in the material world is to solve the question of birth, death, old age, and desire and disease. No one wants to change his birthright. No one wants to meet death. No one wants to be old or invalid, and no one wants diseases. But these problems are solved neither by the grace of any demigod nor by the so called advancement of material science. In the Bhagavad Gita, as well as in the Srimad Bhagavatam, such less intelligent persons have been described as devoid of all good sense. Sukhdev Goswami said that out of the 84 lakh species of living entities, the human form of life is rare and valuable. And out of those rare human beings, those one are conscious of the material problems are rarer still. And the still more rarer persons are those who are conscious of the value of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which contains the message of the Lord and his pure devotees. Death is inevitable for everyone, intelligent or foolish. But Parikshit Maharaja has been addressed by the Goswami as the Manasi, Manishi, or
Manishi.
the Manishi, or the man of highly developed mind, because at the time of death he felt all material enjoyment and completely surrendered onto the lotus feet of the Lord by hearing his messages from the right person, Sukhdev Goswami, but as aspirations for material enjoyment by endeavoring persons are condemned. Such as aspirants, such aspirations are something like the intoxication of the degraded human society. Intelligent persons should try to avoid these aspirations and seek instead the permanent life by returning home back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
So we saw in the sloka and the translation, Sukadeva Goswami is saying that to get some of the material things, whom should you worship? Different options are giving. All these material gains, whether strength or intelligence or sex or popularity, all those things. He gives a different Devi Devatas worship so that we can achieve that. Now, the purport Srila Prabhupada says that the first point he says the different modes of worship for different persons desiring success particular subjects. So, whatever success we think, for somebody, wealth could be success. Somebody could be name, fame could be success. For somebody, the long life could be success. So, whatever success we look there, for that there is devatas given. So, but at the same time, Prabhupada says the conditioned soul living within the purview of the material world cannot be expert in every type of material the enjoyable asset. By worshipping one particular devata, I may get something, but I cannot get everything. For example, one may get good wealth, but he may not get good health. One may get little intelligent, but he may not get good wealth. So it's not that one may get everything by worshipping one devata. You cannot get everything because you cannot be expert in every field. Maybe one or two field he may be a little more expert. So the point is that one cannot get everything in one particular material world. So Prabhupada quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam sorry, Srimad Bhagavad Gita 7:20 says, Kameste jnanaha prapadyante anya devataha tam tam niyamam asthaya prakritya niyataha sweha. Those who intelligent has been stolen by the material desires, surrender unto the demigods, and follow particular rules and regulations, worship according to their own nature. Those whose intelligence been lost, they are called the demigod worshipper or deprived of jnana. They are called rita jnanaha prapadyante. Their intelligence lost. They have no stolen, not just not lost, they are stolen by sense gratification because they want to worship Devatas. So again, understand that it is not condemn Devi Devatas. The condemning is intention of worship. So for going behind Devi Devatas, asking for material gain, that is what condemned here. So it's by doing that, they may solve some problems. For example, one who is poor, by worshipping certain devata, he may get little money. Or somebody may be weak, he may get little strength. But he'll not be able to solve all the real problems. Prabhupada says that real problem is Janma Mittu Jara Vyadhi, birth, death, old age, and disease. That's a real problem. Because this problem is there for every living entity. Nobody is exempted. And all other problems can be there for somebody, may not be there for others. Whereas this is there. And this is a real problem we should solve. Proper quoting from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam says, such less intelligent persons have been described as a divide of senses. So, Ritajnanaha, they lost their intelligence. So, the human body, after going through 84 lakhs, is the more rare, valuable, Durlabha Manava Janma. So, that human form, one who conscious of the material problems are rarer still, and still more rare persons are those who are conscious of the value of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that way, we are so fortunate. We are that rare people. Millions of people are there in the world today. Crores of people are there. You can imagine how many people take Bhagavad Gita, how many people read Bhagavatam. Very rare, very less number. And we are such a fortunate souls because mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada's and his disciples' mercy. Today we have Bhagavatam and we're sitting and discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. Such a rare opportunity for all of us. So Prabhupada says, Sukadeva Goswami and aspires for material, those who are aspirations for material enjoyment by enduring persons are condemned. So those who aspire for material enjoyments are condemned because that material enjoyment will never give them happiness. It may give certain kind of satisfaction for some time, very short time. Immediately that will go. Even see in the material world today, one gets 1 lakh today. Next month he wants 2 lakhs. After that he gets 2 lakhs, he wants 4 lakhs. Next, you keep on increasing. You see today, some of the rich people or the business people or politicians, they have crores of rupees or wealth, whether bank balances or properties, but still they want more, and they will not give a single paisa charity. They're so stingy. They keep on accumulating, but they don't know they'll have to leave everything and go. That's why Prabhupada says intelligent person should try to avoid these aspirations and seek instead of permanent life by returning back home, back to Godhead. That is a real home. That is the advancement we can do. That's a real intelligent. So that way, Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we are all such an intelligent people who have taken up Krishna consciousness. Okay, we'll read the next verse.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it's allotted to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Canto 2, Chapter 3, Text 8. Dharma Arthaha Uttama Shlokam Tanuhu Tantuhu Tanvan Pitran Yajet Raksha Kamaha Punya Janan Ojas Kamo Murut Ganan. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. One should worship Lord Vishnu or his devotee for spiritual advancement in knowledge and for protection of heredity and advancement of a dynasty. One should worship the various demigods. Purport. The path of religion entails making progress on the path of spiritual advancement, ultimately reviving the eternal relation with Lord Vishnu in his impersonal effulgence, his localized Paramatma feature, and ultimately his personal feature by spiritual advancement in knowledge. And one who wants to establish a good dynasty and be happy in the progress of temporary bodily relations should take shelter of the Pithas and the demigods in other pious planets. Such different classes of worshippers of different demigods may ultimately reach the respective planets of those demigods within the universe, but he who reaches the spiritual planets in the Brahma Jyoti achieves the highest perfection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So further different demigod worship and result is given. So, but one who worship Lord Vishnu or his devotees for spiritual advancement in knowledge, that is the real intelligent. It says Lord Vishnu or his devotees also, because one particular place Prabhupada writes that worship of devotees is more better than worship of the Lord, because when the devotee is worshipped, Lord is more pleased. Nice analogy is given is that for a mother, the child is taken care, mother is happy. Even if you don't care for her, it's fine. Similarly, doesn't bother, but if a devotee is taken care, the devotee is worshipped, Lord is more merciful and Lord is more happy. But for protection of heredity and advancement of dynasty, one should worship various demigods. So further, it says different worship of demigods. And what's the result is given? Prabhupada says the path of religion entails making progress on the path of spiritual advancement, ultimately reviving the eternal relationship with the Lord Vishnu in his impersonal effulgence. So we are all devotees. It's only that the cover has to be removed. It has to be revealed or revived. So that revision should happen when we meet with the devotees. So devotee association is given so important. Just by association devotees, the covering is removed and we naturally become a devotees. Prabhupada finally says that he who reaches the spiritual planets in Brahma Jyoti achieves the higher perfection. So that, but beyond that, the Goloka Vrindavan or Vaikuntha is given more important. Okay, next. 9.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
I am allotted a name. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Purport 9.
We can read sloka.
Rajya Kama Manon Devan Nirtim
Nivritim. Yes, sorry, not Nirtim. Yeah, sorry.
Devan Nirtim Tu Abhicharan Tu Abhicharan Tua Abhicharan Yajat Kama Yajat Somam Akama Purusam Param. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada J. One who desires domination over a kingdom or an empire should worship the Manus. One who desires victory over an enemy should worship the demons. And one who desires sense gratification should worship the moon. But one who desires nothing of material enjoyment should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. purport. For a liberated person, all the enjoyments listed above are considered to be absolutely useless. Only those who are conditioned by the material modes of external energy are captivated by different types of material enjoyment. In other words, the transcendentalist has no material desires to be fulfilled, whereas the materialist has all types of desires to be fulfilled. The Lord has proclaimed that the materialists who desire material enjoyment and thus seek the favor of different demigods, as above mentioned, are not in control of their senses and so give themselves to nonsense. One should therefore not desire any sort of material enjoyment, being sensible enough to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The leaders of nonsensical persons are still more nonsensical because they preach openly and foolishly that one can worship any form of demigod and get the same result. This sort of preaching is not only against the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita or those of the Srimad Bhagavatam, but is also foolish, just as it is foolish to claim that that with the purchase of any travel ticket, one may reach the same destination. No one can reach Bombay from Delhi by purchasing a ticket for Baroda. It is clearly defined herein that persons impregnated with different desires have different modes of worship, but one who has no desire for material enjoyment should worship the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, and this worshipping process is called devotional. ಇಲ್ಲಿ miss ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. For this personality of Godhead, and this worshipping process is called devotional service. Pure devotional service means service to the Lord without any tinge of material desires, including desire for fruitive activity and empiric speculation. For fulfillment of material desires, one may worship the Supreme Lord, but the result of such worship is different, as will be explained in the next verse. Generally, the Lord does not fulfill anyone's material desires for sense enjoyment, but he awards such benedictions to the worshippers of the Lord, for they ultimately come to the point of not desiring material enjoyment. The conclusion is that one must minimize the desires for material enjoyment, and for this, one should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is described here as Param, or beyond anything material. Sripada Sankaracharya has also stated Narayana Paro Vyakat, Narayana Paro Vyakat, the Supreme Avyakta. The Supreme Lord is beyond the material encirclement. Hare Krishna. Srila
So
Prabhupada.
further, Sukadeva Goswami is saying here, one who desires domination over kingdom or empire should worship Manus, and one who desires a victory over an enemy should worship demons, and one who desires a sense gratification should worship moon, but one who desires nothing of material enjoyment should worship Supreme Personality Godhead. So again, the importance of worshipping Supreme Lord without any tinge of material aspirations. That is what recommended here. Prabhupada says that the material enjoyment, in other words, the transcendentalist has no material desires to be fulfilled. The so-called spiritualist or transcendentalist, they have no material desires. Their only aim is to worship the Lord and serve at the feet of the Supreme Lord. But whereas the materialist has all type of desires to be fulfilled. That's the reason they keep on rotating Punarapi Jananam Punarapi, because their desires never finishes. Whatever they get, they are not happy. They want more. That's the reason the more they get, they more suffer. So the Lord has proclaimed that materialist who desires material enjoyment and thus seek the favor of different demigods, as above mentioned, are not in control of their senses and give themselves to a nonsense. That's the Prabhupada saying that. So because those demigods also not in control of the senses, and they also do the nonsense activities. Here Prabhupada says, leaders of nonsensical persons are still more nonsensical because they preach openly the foolish that one can worship any form of demigod and get the same result. This is a common discussion when we go out. Everybody says, yeah, why worship anyone that reaches the same destination? Everything is bhakti, everything is the same. So sometimes we keep quiet because there's no point in talking, because there's so much focused. They worship certain devatas, devis, or some of the so-called matters. That's also they say bhakti. Whereas he's very clearly mentioned what happens to worship them. So Prabhupada says that, but it's also foolish, just foolish the claim that one purchase any ticket and one may reach any destination or same destination. Prabhupada gives a nice example. Buying a ticket from Delhi to Bombay, you cannot reach Baroda because all path doesn't reach the same destinations. That's the point. One who worship Krishna only reaches Krishna's abode. One who worship different demigods, they may go to that demigod's the abode. So Prabhupada further says that service to the Lord without any tinge of material desires, that's what required. That's what every devotee should try to do it, because that's the ultimate. And generally, the Lord does not fulfill anyone's material desire for sense enjoyment. Whatever soul the devotee may ask, but as soon as he is surrendered to Krishna, Krishna doesn't give material desires. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one particular place, says that I'm not that fool, because those fools come and ask for sense enjoyment. I'm not that fool. I'll give the holy name, because he says, I know this is a solution for them. So finally, Prabhupada says, Sripad Shankaracharya has also stated, Narayana Paro Avyakta, the Supreme Lord is beyond material encirclement. So that is what the ultimate just take up Krishna consciousness, chant Krishna's name, worship him, and that is the ultimate of it. This will stop here. Devotees can share their comments. We'll start with the Vyasa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Amataji. Any points?
The conscious of the miseries of material world are very rare. Conscious of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is also rare. This is all possible because of our Guru, Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Intelligent man should seek the highest knowledge. Demigods worshipping results in will achieve some materialistic desires, whereas worshipping the Supreme Lord and worshipping of other devotees is the highest. Devotee association is also very, very important. The one who reaches the spiritual planet is in the Brahma Jyoti achieves the highest perfection. One who desires nothing of material world should worship the Supreme Lord Krishna. Transcendentalists worship without any desires, unlike the materialists. They worship to achieve something of material nature. One who worship the Lord Krishna will reach Lord Krishna the same way if we worship demigods, we may reach their planets. So ultimate is to take Krishna consciousness, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and be in the association of the devotees and serve the Supreme with all our senses. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, that's my takeaway.
Mariappan
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna.
There are varieties of different modes of worship with different demigods, depending on the individual's material desires. For example, Ravana emerged as a powerful man by worshipping Lord Shiva. Even demigods have been afraid of extraordinary conditions of power of Ravana. However, due to his egoistic nature, Ravana challenged Rama, Supreme Lord, and ruined himself. Those who are in the influence of material desires and sense gratification are less intelligent persons. They do not realize birth, death cycle, and old age and disease. These miseries cannot be tackled by demigods or by advancement of material science. Death is imminent for both intelligent and foolish. We must realize what Maharaja Parikshit understand. Death is approaching. 7 days he completely come out of all material opulences and surrendered on the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. Hence, intelligent human beings must opt for renunciation of all material desires and sense gratification and go back home, back to Godhead. And next text, if devotees are worshipped, Supreme Lord is happy. So one must always be in the association of devotees, pure devotees, and try to fulfill their spiritual aspirations and always associate with pure devotees. One who desires to go back home, back to Godhead for the pleasure of Supreme Lord is to worship Supreme Lord Krishna. The common understanding that one can have ticket to particular destination, can go to any of the destination according to his aspiration is completely wrong. Likewise, one must always surrender to Supreme Lord and leave all material desires and opt for only going back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, if he opts for worshipping demigods and different material, he goes into different material desires, he will lose the his ultimate goal of the life. So to ensure the ultimate goal of life, one must always get rid of the material desires and sense gratification. Always worship Supreme Lord Krishna. That much I understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Reena Mataji, anything? Want to add any new points?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
No.
Today I have learned success is different for different people, and one cannot get everything in this material world. At the same time, one who is fully engaged in hearing Lord Sri Krishna, his divine message helps us in purifying and reach our goals, which is meeting the ultimate lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. And many people, those who are focused towards attaining the material enjoyment, they might not directly return to the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, but the purification can happen through devotion and hearing, which makes the spiritual path clear. uh, I also learned in terms of if we ask for material gain by worshipping, we may get a little gain. That may be the real problem. The less intelligent person are not conscious about Srimad Bhagavatam. We are fortunate people and soul, and by the blessings of Lord Sri Krishna, we are lucky to have got this opportunity to learn Srimad Bhagavatam. In this material world, there may have many more may require money and other desire, that they might get it, but they might not be so intelligent to get the Krishna consciousness. So one who worships Lord Shri Krishna, like a mother feels happy if the child is taken care. Similarly, when the devotees are taken care, Lord Shri Krishna is also quite happy, and we are all the devotees. And he who reaches the Brahma Jyoti reaches the ultimate Shri Krishna. So the transcendentalist or the spiritualists have no material desires to be fulfilled, whereas the materialists have all types of desire to be fulfilled. They worship all kinds of demigod to attain the material enjoyment. But if when we service Lord Krishna without having any material desire, we have an opportunity to reach the Supreme Lord and go beyond all the material benefit that we see in this material world. Jai Shri Krishna, Prabhuji, this
Hare
is my learning.
Krishna. Swati Mataji, anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. From the class, I could understand and learn that uh, if we are bothered on material successes and going with that, and praying to the particular demigods, whatever are mentioned, um, we may get some material success in one area, we may lack in another area. So it is always not sufficient for a materialistic person. So a person who is less, minimum with, who is less bothered on the material success and is more conscious of the Lord, reaches Godhead along with success in the material as well as the spiritual perspective. And also, the Lord, more than worshipping Himself, if we worship His devotees, He's more pleased. So, worshipping devotees, they are respecting and coming in association with the devotees and chanting Mahamantra and reading the holy books, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, will definitely help us to reach our ultimate goal. So that's what I thought.
Sudhavadi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
So, Sukadev Goswami, he said, like, to obtain material gains, there are different Devi Devatas. So, mostly conditioned souls, they'll have different desires and they go to Devi Devatas to attain that particular desire of theirs. But here we need to understand, like, once these desires are never ending, that we have to keep in mind. So
Yes,
that we need to keep,
yeah.
there is no end for the desires. Might be like one, if one wish is fulfilled that particular time, one might be happy, but after few days again it will be like, it will be, some other desires will pop up. So there is never ending. And considering, the main problem, which is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, that is a real problem that we have to keep in mind. So we should not go through this Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. We have to come out of it. So to come out of it, we should be intelligent enough to know what to choose, whether to go to different Devi Devatas for these material desires which are like bubbles, or for permanent happiness, to hold Supreme Lord's lotus feet, that we have to be questioning ourselves which one we wanted. Obviously it is the ultimate happiness which is going to Supreme Lord abode. So we should try to avoid all the which is temporary gains, material things. And one who worship Vishnu or his devotees will definitely advance in spiritual growth. So Lord is happy if even if we worship his, I mean, if we give respect to his devotees, like how a mother is happy if her child is taken care of. And one who desires nothing of material enjoyment should worship Supreme Lord. And mostly transcendentalists have no desires of material enjoyment. So they are, because they are intelligent enough to know which is good for them. And one who worship Krishna will go back to his abode. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Sumit Prabhu, anything missing point you want to add?
No, Prabhuji, everything is covered. Nothing from my side.
Saurabh Prabhu, anything?
Prabhuji Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And everything has been covered by Mariappan Prabhu and all other senior questionnaires. That we have to be careful about to the respects of Vaishnavas. That a very beautiful line has been described in our holy Guru Chaitanya Charitamrita ke Chariya Vaishnav Seva Nisar Peche Keva. Nothing has been, nobody gets relief without the Vaishnav Seva to get without the service of the lotus feet to the Vaishnavas. And anyhow, there is all other, and for everyone's success is the different level. And but for the ultimate success, our ultimate success should be get reach the abode of the abode of Supreme Personality of God through Bhagavatam, through Bhagavad Gita and all others, soul, the association of pure souls. But Prabhuji, out of curiosity, I have one more question. Just at the last verse, okay, we have read. There's one very important line, and that Supreme Personality of Godhead never fulfill any kinds of desire for sense enjoyment, right?
Yes.
Then, my question is then why Supreme Lord give us the senses? I mean, the senses to touch, the senses to feel, the senses to see.
So that we can serve the Lord. Eyes to see the beautiful form of the Lord.
Basically, generally, the Lord does not fulfill anyone's material desire for sense enjoyment. So, in that sense, my question is then why do we provide us the senses?
So actually, senses are given to in the service of the Lord, but
Service.
we don't do that. Like for example, eyes
we do the
to
opposite.
see instead of that we see something else. So that's what
we
happens.
do the opposite.
See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says the same thing. He says, my devotees are material things, but I'm not that fool to give them. They may be foolish, but I'm not that fool, he says. So I'll not give. So I'll give only what is good for them. That's the point.
Understood, Prabhu. Understood.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Shankar Prabhu, anything on that?
Krishna Prabhuji. So things covered. So this the worshipping of the devotional service should be pure devotional service. We should not expect any material benefits when worshipping the Lord. So our devotion should be pure. And also, whenever we worship the demigods, we reach only to the particular demigods planet, and we may fall back. So our main ultimate goal is to worship the Supreme Lord, so we can reach his support, and we will not fall back.
Varsha Mataji, last one.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, no Prabhuji, thank you for the class.
will end here. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripasindhabhyasya patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namah. Ananta kodi Vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namameta Bhakta vrinda ki jai. We'll see you tomorrow, same time. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the